At First Rounds on Me, we believe that one real date is better than 100 pen pals. With our mobile dating app, we make it fun and easy for you to meet someone in person for a real date. See someone you're interested in? We help plan your date. Pick a drink, a time, a venue, and send that person a date invite. It's that simple. You only get one confirmed date per day. Give your full attention to one person at a time so you can actually get to know each other in person. Our key differentiators allow you to focus on what's most important: dating with intention and connecting with someone in person. Once your date is confirmed, you only get 12 hours to chat before your date starts. If you're tired of the endless small talk with pen pals on other dating apps, First Rounds on Me is for you.
Welcome back to Crowdsourcing Love. I'm your host, Marin. And this week on the podcast, I have a very special guest, Cassandra.
Hi.
Just a little bit of background. We met through work like 2 years ago. Give us some context. Who are you?
Yes. So I am from Mexico. And I'm here. I got married to sorry, I'm just like really nervous.
No, it's okay.
Let's just take a shot.
Oh my God. Okay. So
Let's just
she
take a
brought
shot.
Casamigos. Okay. Did you bring a chaser?
No.
Okay. Let's see here.
Sorry, really quick.
I'm nervous. I never drank on air. But with a Mexican, gotta do it.
I feel like it's just gonna warm us up.
Ew. How can you drink that?
It's not that bad. Okay.
Okay, now that you're good, now that we have like a little buzz going.
Okay.
Okay, so you're from Mexico.
Yes.
You married an American.
Right.
He's from Rhode Island.
He's from Connecticut.
So how did you find him?
Yeah, so I was here on an exchange program in Connecticut.
Yep.
And I actually met him right before I was going to leave. I think I had
wow.
a couple months left. We met at a bar.
Yeah.
And we weren't sure if we were going to date. Because I was going back to Mexico. And so I ended up going back to Mexico. We were not together. And then he just chased me down.
He chased you.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's so interesting. So you met him right before you went back to Mexico, and then he basically like fell in love with you, like love at first sight, or like how did he pursue you?
So I mean, after we met, we went on a couple dates. And I think we were talking about this before.
Yeah.
I think in a span of like 2 weeks.
Yeah.
He asked me out like on like 5 dates.
Okay, I like this story because it shows, because I know Sam, he's like a little bit reserved. You would not think of him as somebody who's like super outgoing, but he's kind of like the quiet guy. I don't want to call him shy because I don't think he's shy. He's just reserved.
Right.
But he was super persistent.
Yes.
And I love this story because you're like, I wasn't available at night, so then he asked me to lunch.
Yeah.
Tell us more. I love it.
Yeah. So as I was leaving, I was like trying to enjoy every second I had with my friends. And so there was this guy who wanted to see me, and I was like, I can't go out because I already have plans with my friends.
Archie, sorry.
So yeah, he was like, let's just go out for lunch then if you can't make it. Like 30 minutes. Like 30 minutes is enough to see you.
He was just desperate desperate, but desperate for your time.
Right, yes.
Like
but
as much as he could get of you.
Yeah, I think it's just like a good way to show that he was there for me, you know? And I kind of knew he wanted a girlfriend. Like after those shows, after a man shows you that, like you get it, like you understand.
Yeah.
Because like I went out with other guys and they would not text me for weeks or months, you know, and then all of a sudden they will show up, like, you know, if this person is interested or not.
Okay, so I love your perspective. You have all the best opinions. During my 28 dates in February, you were always my phone call where I'd be like, what do you think of all these different guys? Right. So I want to get your perspective on my dating life, and I want to just like kind of like spill a little tea. During my 28 dates in February, who were your favorites? Who were your least favorites? What did you think of my journey? Because you have the behind the scenes.
Yeah. So I actually liked date number 2 and the lawyer the most.
Okay.
Um, mainly because I knew you were looking for something serious, and I knew you were looking for that person, and I felt that the lawyer and date number 2 were the most put together. Like they were a little bit older and they had
Yep.
stable jobs and like that those kind of things. The one that I didn't like at all, and I told you since the beginning, was the comedian. I really didn't
He's
like
just so
him. Yeah,
funny.
since the start, I was like, why are you even going out with him? But I get it. Like you get involved with someone, and it's not that easy to just let go. Like, you say this a lot, like say yes until you say no. So
Yep.
you want to try things up, and you were doing this experiment, so it was fun, and I get it. And obviously, I mean, date number 2 didn't go that
But
well.
at first he did seem
Yes,
promising.
at the beginning it was
Yeah.
great. So
Because remember, I went on the date with him, and then the next morning we went to yoga together,
yeah,
and I was like smiling ear to
it was
ear.
when you guys went to Cosme, right?
Yeah,
I
and that was
remember.
our first date, and I
Yeah,
was like, I met somebody, and I
yeah,
was like super optimistic about him, and
yeah,
you could like feel my energy.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why it was exciting. Like there was this really great job,
hmm
great like promising relationship. But that's the thing, like you can't judge a book by its cover
hmm
because it might look really good, but it might end up being horrible,
Yeah,
and
and you
that's
need time.
exactly, you need time to get to know someone. Like I said, if they do tricky things in the
hmm
beginning, it's like, okay, you can work with it, but after 2 months, like, then
Yeah,
what are we doing? And that's what happened, like after I think like 6 weeks, it was like a month and
yeah.
a half, right?
hmm He
um
got back from Miami.
yeah,
Miami.
Miami.
hmm We don't
That's
know
what
where
we
he
think. Yeah,
was.
we don't know
He
where he
may have
was.
been on Park Avenue that whole time. And
True.
he's just like, babe, I miss you.
Yeah.
Wait, so what about the comedian was like a glaring red flag? Because he did have, I'm going to be honest, he had some red flags that I saw, including like he was on reality TV before
Hmm.
trying to find love. And now all of a sudden he's in my DMs and he's like dated older women in the past. And so I saw these like red flags, but he would FaceTime me and I didn't take him seriously at first because
Yeah.
was younger and I just, I was like, whatever. So, were there any red flags that you think I missed that you saw as a friend?
um so I think like the number one actually is age, and I think that deep down I felt that he wanted like your cloud,
Mhm.
like a little bit of your attention. I
Yeah.
felt like, I don't know, he was just dating you because you were the girl with the 28 dates, with the
Yeah.
28 dates
Like I was in Bloomberg,
Instagram.
I was on
Yeah.
Bustle, like I
Yeah,
was kind of like of the moment.
exactly. I
Yeah.
think that is like, I think that like now if a guy like DMs you, it's like, okay, like he might be interested, but
Mhm.
at that point in February, it was a lot of like, I want to be one of those guys,
Yes.
the guys that were look like DMing you and stuff. I think there was this guy who sent you a video. I remember the one that sent
Oh
you this video
yeah.
being like, I can't come. He was in Boston or something.
He was in
Yeah,
Boston.
and he just sent you a video saying that I can't come to New York. I know I said I was going to, but if we do an like FaceTime date, can that count as a date for your challenge? And it's like,
And he's like,
what
"It's
a
for the
yeah,
story."
it's like it's not like you were looking for someone, and like
And I still am. I'm looking for
yeah,
something real. And he
exactly.
wanted it to be about the narrative.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's so true. Okay, speaking of the lawyer accidentally sent me my own video back to me yesterday.
No way.
And I think he was trying to talk shit, like on the low. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
You think
I
so?
think, because when you accidentally send a screenshot to the person that you're screenshotting,
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
and I hadn't talked to him since we had our like last conversation when we ended things, and all of a sudden he's sending me my video back, and I was like,
Do you think he was actually trying to
message
shade on
me?
you? Maybe message you? Maybe, I mean, I know a lot of people that do that, like low key, kind of like
Like shady.
wink, wink. Yeah.
Oh, like send your own content back to you?
No, just like instead of saying hello, they just send you something random.
Okay, so he sent me my video and then I saw it right away because I was already in the app. And then, so I accidentally opened it right away. And then he sent me right after that, like 20 seconds later, he sent cute with like 5 exclamation points. And I was like,
Oh,
that feels like a cover up.
yeah,
I'm
that
not
feels like a
mad.
cover up.
But it's okay. It's like, I think all
Okay.
is fair in love and war. And if he wants to throw some shade like on the DL, that's fine.
Right.
Okay, speaking of age gaps, Jersey boy. So I just went on a date. I went on 2 dates with him this past week, and I want to get your perspective because it was our 3rd date, and he picked me up, and this was our like least expensive date where we just went to City Vineyard, and we ended up just like drinking water because I was like not wanting to eat unhealthy, and I just like wasn't wanting to drink alcohol. And
Cheap date.
it was what?
Your cheap date.
I was a cheap date that night, and it wasn't even like it wasn't to appease him. It was like literally to serve my own needs, but on the date, he goes, I have a confession. And I was like, what? And I like couldn't rack my brain to think of like what he could possibly confess. It's 3 dates in. And he's like, I lied to you about my age. And it turns out he's not 25 going on 26. He's 24 going on 25.
Marin.
I know. What do you think?
I mean, I don't think it's the worst thing in the world. I just feel that you gotta be real, you know? Maybe he might be very mature. Is he from Jersey? Like originally
Yes.
from Jersey?
Yep.
So, I mean, we know East Coast guys,
East
East
Coast.
Coast guys, usually take longer to settle down. And what you're looking is for that person. I think like just trust your intuition.
Yeah.
And like I don't know him personally, so I wouldn't exactly know what to say about him, right? But just based on age, I would say that it might not work. I don't know. I don't want to be judgy, obviously, and I
Right.
support you. Maybe he's the one, you know?
We don't know.
We don't
we've
know.
literally been on 4 dates, but
Yeah.
our date the next day was a picnic, and he like planned it, and he
Yeah,
like executed it really well.
He's also been doing a lot of like really good things. So
Mhm.
I feel that I don't know. I feel like there's a lot of things that could be a really good sign, but at the same time, the age
I
can be a big
know.
red flag.
I think that like the way I'm approaching it is I'm just gonna like
Well, you did make out with my brother. That was like 20.
oh shit. Wait, we have to tell this story.
I'm not sure if
How old's your brother?
I'm not sure if he was 23 or 24.
Okay, so
Yeah.
at Cassandra's wedding,
Yeah.
she has 2 twin brothers who are so funny. At the first time I saw your brothers, they are tall, they're handsome, but I thought they were nerdy because they both have
Right.
glasses.
Yeah.
And the glasses are deceiving. I thought they were just goofy and nerdy. I wasn't thinking, oh, they're hot.
Oh, okay.
And then another
Yeah.
one of our friends, she was like actually like love at first sight. Like she thought one of your brothers was really cute. And I obviously like she didn't say love at first sight. She did
Right.
not say that. It's my words, not hers. But we ended up, me and the other friend, all from the same job. We all worked together previously. Me and this friend at Cassandra's wedding kissed. We both made out with her brothers. We didn't make out with the same brother.
Yeah, there were twins, so it's like one with each.
Yeah,
right?
so but Cassandra's really protective of her brothers. And so it was like this big drama, not because of Cassandra, but
Right.
because of us, because we know she's protective.
Yeah.
And so we were so scared to like
Go
talk
back to
you.
work.
Like we were scared to go back to work. We were scared to see you the next day because we're like, what do we do?
I know.
But it was all because you had free tequila at your wedding.
True. Yeah, it was unlimited shots, and and you thought they were like someone was paying for them, so you had to get to drink them.
So our coworker Jerry, he kept buying more and more shots. Well, he wasn't buying them.
He was just ordering them.
He was ordering them, and he would be like, "Here you go." And I was like, "Wow, Jerry's really spending a lot on us tonight." He wasn't.
Because it was open bar, Marin.
I know. Your wedding was actually so beautiful.
Yeah.
So, okay, wrapping up this one segment about my love life currently.
Right.
Why do you think I'm single still? And like, don't hold back. Like, what's your expert opinion? Because I'm 31, 31 and a half, and I've been like intentionally dating since February, which has been like 6 months now. Why do you think I'm still single?
I think you haven't found the one. I think it's like simple. It's very simple, and I think a lot of people make it sound very difficult, but it's the truth. It's like you need to find someone who it's not like you're gonna find Prince Charming, right?
Right.
But it has to check some of your boxes, and you haven't gotten enough attention, you haven't gotten enough love, you haven't gotten enough of all these things that you want
From one person.
from one person.
Yeah.
So it's like people have been deceiving. It's New York City. So it's really hard to date. Everyone that's single agrees with that. So
Mhm.
it's really hard, and a lot of people don't know that, and especially in other places it's like the South,
Mhm.
right? It's like everyone's married.
Yeah.
Like it's not the same story over here. Most people are single over here.
Yeah, I would agree.
And you haven't found the one. You haven't felt butterflies in your stomach.
Well, I
you know?
have,
But it's not been
but they haven't been long-term butterflies.
correct.
Did you have
True.
butterflies with your husband?
Not at the beginning.
Oh, really? So he was
Yeah.
a slow burn.
True. Yes.
So maybe I should avoid the butterflies.
Not necessarily. So that's one thing. I don't think that, what they say, like, don't move in with your boyfriend, like, don't do all these things. I don't agree with a lot of them because I feel like it's gonna work no matter what. I
If
feel
he's
like
your
a lot.
person, it's gonna work.
Correct. I feel like Sam and I did a lot of things that a lot of people would have been, don't do that. Like, don't move in before getting married. Don't go to another country if you're not together. Like,
Yeah.
all these things, and we did them, and it worked out for us because I feel that he was my person. I feel like no matter what you do, and no matter what this other person does, if it's the person for you, it's gonna work out.
Yeah, actually, I really like that sentiment. So, okay. So, can you talk me through your early 20s though? Because,
Yeah.
like obviously you're married now, and a lot of people are like, wow, good job. You made it to the other side. I mean, as a single girl, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
so, but like, what was dating like in your 20s? Because I
It was
know it
really
wasn't
bad.
always straightforward.
No, it was really bad. I think I was in a very similar situation to everyone else. It was really rough. Like, most of my friends were in relationships, and then, like, guys sucked.
Yeah.
Even in Mexico, I
Mm.
feel like I was either, like, La Paz. Like, La Paz is a very small town.
Mhm.
I knew everyone. Yeah, it's very quiet, so I knew everyone. So it's like, um, who else? Like, it's not like I'm gonna meet someone different tomorrow because I already know everyone in the city.
Yeah.
So, like, where am I gonna find someone?
I feel
And
like a lot of people feel like that in small towns.
yes,
Where they're like, I have
it's
to date
true.
40 minutes away or an hour away because there's no one here.
There's no one there, and
Yeah.
and you feel that, like, you feel lost.
Mhm.
And then I was in the US, and I mean, I encounter everything that you're probably are experiencing, like ghosting, and then just going out on dates, like getting, like, I don't know, getting ghosted. There was a couple guys that I really, really liked,
Mhm.
and they didn't like me. So
Which is the worst feeling.
yeah, it really is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would like, that's like my least favorite feeling in the world.
When you really like someone and they don't like
Yeah,
you
I
back.
would rather dump somebody.
Yeah. But you know what? I feel
What?
that the more you like them, the less I like you. Because with Sam, I don't
Mhm.
know if it was because I was leaving, that I was like, I can't date you because I'm going back to Mexico. And so I I was like, I was in a mindset.
You were pushing him
Yes, I was
away,
pushing him away.
which kind of drew him towards you.
Correct. So I feel that if I had met him a year before, when I first got
To the US?
Connecticut,
Yeah,
yeah, when I
Connecticut.
first got
Yeah.
to Connecticut, it would have been a little bit different, where my mindset could have been, okay, I have time to date him. Let's see what happens,
Mhm.
So I think it worked out for us in that way.
Mhm.
But it's really hard to fake those kind of things because I know the rules, and
Yeah.
I do agree with some of them.
Okay.
At some level.
Yeah. They're
Um,
pretty extreme, I
they're
will
pretty
say.
extreme. Yeah.
But for someone like me, I do like them because it's like I overthink dating.
Yeah.
And so having like a framework where I don't overthink it, because previously I would be like, go away to the wrong guys, and then I'd end up with the wrong guys. And the reason why I like the
Yeah.
rules is because it teaches you like healthy boundaries to set with the guys that you actually do like, in hopes of actually ending up with one of those guys.
Well, that's true.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know, but like
It's a mind game.
It's a mind game. And like it is a little bit of like psychological
You have to
warfare.
play checkers.
You do. Like you don't have to play chess, just checkers. Like don't make it
Yeah,
too complicated.
correct.
Okay. So how did you know that Sam was the one?
Um, I think, I mean, it was just easy. I feel like he was there for me.
Mm-hmm.
He gave me all his attention.
He
He
was persistent.
persistent. He did a lot of things for me. And it was just easy. I People cheated on me before,
Mm-hmm.
and so trust was a really big thing for me,
Yeah.
and I have never had that issue with Sam. Like I've always trust him.
Mm-hmm.
We have great communication, so like if he goes out, I don't care. Like if I go out, he doesn't care. So it's a lot of like it's just trust.
Yep.
Something I had never felt before.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just like you just feel secure. You just feel safe. And that safe feeling
Mm-hmm.
it's I don't know, it's
It's
priceless.
amazing.
Yeah,
I
it's
know.
it's amazing. And I think when I started feeling that I was like, I just feel good. It's just easy, you know?
Mm-hmm.
I was like, okay,
It
I can
like
see myself
flowed.
with this guy. Yeah.
Okay, and then how did Sam know that you were the one?
He said that as soon as he met me.
Okay, so that's what guys always say. Like they say like I knew right away.
Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah.
I've asked him.
Yeah.
I have asked him before, and he always says like, "Oh, I just knew,"
Mm-hmm.
because he's not big on words, so he's like, "I just knew." Like that's it.
Most men
That's my
aren't
answer.
big on words.
Yeah, that's my answer. I just knew. So I feel that I resemble the things that he was looking for. Like we're both Catholic.
Mm-hmm.
Like when we first met, actually, like we talked about my family, we talked about his. So he's like, okay, I have 3 brothers and sisters,
Mm-hmm.
and he also has a sister. And he's like, okay, I want someone who comes like family oriented, like those kind of things. And I think that like I think it was Matchmaker Maria told
Mm-hmm.
you that you don't have to be asking questions like those like you start knowing things little but as as
Right.
you have
They'll
a
reveal
conversation.
it
Correct.
as like what they reference in
Yeah,
conversations. Like if they want kids, they'll talk about kids.
correct.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
and I think that's what happened on our first date. We were just like getting to know each other without asking that many questions, and
And like direct questions.
correct. And
Okay.
he's like, I just knew.
Interesting.
Yeah,
Wait, that's really interesting. Didn't you say you kind of look like his mom too?
a little bit. Yeah,
So
you know her.
I know I can kind of see it, like both
Yeah.
like dark
And
features.
we're yeah, I feel that we are very alike as well. She always says it. Like you're very your
Really?
mother. Yeah, she always says it.
So I need to find a guy who has a mom that like looks like me. Is that what
Wait,
you're
did you
saying?
watch Love is Blind?
Yes, I did.
What's
Yeah.
his name?
I forget his name, but this latest season, the
Yes.
blonde girl looked like the brunette guy's blonde mom.
Correct.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but they didn't end
And
up
she
together.
says it. Like she's like, yeah, he's marrying his
His
mom.
mom. Yeah, I definitely am gonna start like actually like looking at the mothers of the men I'm interested
Can you send me a
in.
picture of your a family picture? Honestly,
Mm-hmm.
I think that on a dating profile, someone that has like family pictures, I think
Mm-hmm.
that's important. Like I would have never swiped right on mirror selfie.
Yeah, I don't like the mirror selfie either.
No, I feel
That's
yeah.
too vain. I
Yeah,
don't want a
it's
vain
like
guy
I want someone who's interested in like other things other than himself.
other than his reflection.
Correct. Yeah, like no mirror selfies or selfies like selfies. No.
No. Okay, a recent question I started to ask myself when it
Mhm.
comes to men is like when I'm dating them, in the back of my head, I'm not like asking them and I'm not
Mhm.
like articulating it, but I'm starting to think about it. Is could this be the father of my children? Like, would I trust this
Yes.
man raising my kids, influencing my children? Like, that's like a metric that I've started to apply
Mhm.
because I love a good fuckboy. Like, I've been attracted to the bad boys, just like all the wrong guys historically. I'm not sure why. I don't have daddy issues. My dad's great. But like moving forward, I think I'm gonna like really like, could this guy actually be
Yeah.
my child's father?
I feel that women are just naturally, you know how we're always like fixers? Like
Mm-hmm.
people say, like, when a woman is walking out of their house, they're thinking like, oh, do I still have mayo in the fridge? Oh, did I leave my iron plugged? Like, you're thinking about a
Yeah.
million things, and guys are like, nothing. So
There's not a lot going on up
we're
there.
always thinking about a million things. Yeah, there's nothing going on up there.
Yeah, yeah.
So I feel that when you meet someone that's in trouble,
Mhm.
it's like, oh, a project.
I can fix him.
I can fix him. Maybe with me it's gonna be different. And that alone is like,
Mhm.
like a magnet for you.
Yeah, and it's like I'm like, well, if he doesn't have a good
You have to
family,
resist.
I need to resist the magnet because I'm
Yeah.
like, well, my family could be his family. Like, you know what I mean? I want to like pour into these
Yeah.
literal drains. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? Like I'm
Yeah.
trying to pour into a drain that's not an actual cup that's going to receive what I'm trying to give.
Yeah.
And so that metaphor got really intense, but I
Yeah.
liked it.
Yeah. You have to think about those things. Like, do they
Yeah.
know how to fix something? Like,
Yeah.
do you think he's gonna get up and take out the trash? Like those kind of things. Like if they're lazy,
Yeah.
if they don't care about like if you're going to their apartment and it's
Mhm.
disgusting, how do you think your house is gonna be?
Yeah.
Like
Honestly.
you have to think about those things.
Or if he's like late on his bills, or if he puts the boys first. Like Saturdays are not for the boys, Saturdays are for me.
Yeah.
And like we can like go, like I really like, I've heard a lot of like more traditional people talk about this where they're like a few weeks into dating, Saturday nights should be date night.
I think it's a lot of compromising.
Okay. Do you not agree?
I don't know because it depends. Like
Mhm.
not every Saturday. Like
No, I want them all. No,
yeah.
I'm kidding. I'm joking.
If you want them all, I think that could be a little bit of a red flag.
Yeah, I
But
was
if
joking.
you guys like say, you know what, if you guys agree on
Mhm.
Saturdays being your date night, go ahead. But if he says, you know what, like maybe once in a while I would like to go with my friends, like if something comes up, why not?
Yeah.
But it's not like every weekend.
But I don't want to feel like I'm constantly like in competition or not a priority, because I think that like our culture, it like deprioritizes
The relationship.
the relationship. And like if you're a cool girl,
Mhm.
you don't care.
Yeah.
But it's like I think it's better just to care and to have
Yeah.
boundaries and conversations.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think that's it. It's all about communication because I see that with Sam too.
Yeah.
Like he loves football. You
Mhm.
know that, everyone knows that.
Mhm.
He loves football and he has to watch every game
Mhm.
of the season.
Yeah.
And
Everyone.
every game.
Dang.
Yeah. So it's like it's that, and I know nothing about football, so
Right.
it was a little bit from like 1 to 1,000. So we
Mhm.
talked about it, and I was like, I get it, and I will support you, but
Mhm.
here and there, if I want to do something, you have to support me too.
Yeah.
If one Saturday I don't want to watch football, like if we have nothing to do, yes, we're watching football.
Mhm.
But if we have plans to go out, if I want to do something different here and there, like I want you to want those things too.
Yeah. What did
And
he say?
he was like, yeah, I get it. So he, at the beginning, obviously he was like, yeah, but it's
Mhm.
something that we worked as we go.
Yep.
It's
It's a
not
work in
always that easy.
progress.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because he really likes it.
Yeah, but like imagine like the reverse. Like what if you were like obsessed with Taylor Swift and every Saturday she had like a live concert and you're like, Sam.
But that's the thing. I don't think I'm that obsessed with anything. He has told me that.
Yeah.
He's like, but that you say that because you don't love something as much as I love football.
Yeah, that's true.
And I'm like, you're right. But at the same time, I am supporting you,
Mhm.
and I am still watching football games 5 weekends in a row. Like I deserve this 6th weekend to be ours,
Yeah.
It's like a lot of compromising. Like we'll do both.
But
you
it's
know?
mostly football.
It's mostly football. Yeah.
Okay, that's the truth.
Yeah.
Okay, so you guys are in a cross-cultural relationship.
Yes.
He's from the US, you're from Mexico.
Mhm.
Are there like any like barriers to understanding, or like are like what's it like being in a cross-cultural relationship?
Yeah, so his family, like he's Italian descendant,
Mhm.
so his family, they're all from Italy.
Mhm.
And but they're all born in the US.
Yeah.
And my family, so I think the only hard part has been that so Sam doesn't speak Spanish,
Mhm.
and like no one in his family does either. But my family, most people do speak English.
Mm-hmm.
My mom doesn't.
Yeah, your
And
mom's so cute.
Yeah, I think that's thank you.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's the hardest part. Like it bothers me in a little bit that he hasn't had like
A conversation with your
a
mom.
sit down conversation with my mom, where my mom tells him something.
Yeah.
They communicate with each other.
Yeah.
Like my mom is very, you know her, like she's very outgoing and she's
Smiley.
smiley. She
Mhm.
tries her best
Yeah.
to make herself like communicate, I guess.
Yeah.
And he does the same thing,
Right.
but they haven't had like a sit down like conversation,
Yeah, because like how could they?
tears in
Yeah.
their
Or like
eyes.
even just like I don't
Joke.
know, a joke or whatever.
Yeah.
Like they're just like very like entry level, like basic,
Correct.
like
That's the
smiling at each other, like
smiling at each
woo.
other. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's the only thing.
Do you ever sit down and like translate?
Yes. All the
Okay.
time.
So like they can have a conversation by proxy, like via you.
Yeah. They all they say to each other is like hola, hola, ¿cómo estás? ¿Cómo estás? And like that's literally it.
Wait, that's so funny.
Adios, adios. That's it.
So were your parents upset when you decided to marry an American boy? And like, was that hard that you're like now living in the US and,
Yeah,
away from family?
it was a little hard. So I am the only
Mhm.
one from my family that's here.
Yeah.
And it was a little hard. My mom so I was with Sam long distance for a year and a half. I was in
Mhm.
Mexico.
Yeah.
And my mom kept telling me like, you might meet someone over here during this time. And
She's
I'm
like the
Mom,
little
I have a boyfriend.
instigator. Yeah.
Yeah, and I was always like, Mom, I have a boyfriend.
Mhm.
Like, what are you talking about? But just because she didn't want me to go,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Which I understand.
Yeah.
And it was a joke, so it's fine. But I know that it hurts her. But she has my other brothers are also over
Mhm.
there. I have 2 brothers and a sister.
Mhm.
And so it's good that they're them. It's good that they're around.
I can't talk about your brothers without giggling. Like I'm like embarrassed.
It's okay.
I apologize for kissing your brother at your wedding.
It's okay.
Thank you for forgiving me. We have to play this game.
Okay.
It's called Ick or Lick.
Mm-hmm.
So if you like it, it's a lick.
Okay.
And if you don't like it, it's an ick.
Mm-hmm.
The first one is Meghan and Harry.
Ick.
Ick?
Yes.
Really?
I don't like them.
Wait, why?
I think they're just doing all the wrong things.
I know, they're kind of an ick to me.
Yeah.
They honestly complain too much, and I believe like yes, speak your truth, but you can't always be the victim. At
You
some point,
can't.
you have to overcome it and tell a different
it's
story.
it's like the world is beating them, and I mean, when you are in that position, like, are you actually getting bitten? Like,
Yeah.
I feel that they want everything, and I don't know. I just don't like them at all. At
Yeah.
all.
Okay.
Not one bit.
Having sex with someone before being committed. So like this is like maybe it's your 6th date, you're not exclusive or
I
boyfriend
would
and girlfriend
say-
yet.
I would say ick.
Ick.
Yeah.
I kind of feel like that too.
Yeah.
I don't know though.
I think it depends on the person, but a lot of my friends are like really disappointed by it.
Mhm.
And I don't know. I feel like I think we were talking about this, weren't we?
What?
Like this person who asked for your advice.
Oh yeah.
On, like-
she like really liked a guy and he like said I don't want to be with you. So then she had sex with him,
to see if he would change, like to see if the sex will
change his
Change
mind.
his mind.
Yeah.
No, it won't.
It never will. If a guy
Yeah.
says he doesn't want to be with you, listen to him the first time.
Correct.
1000%.
If he's showing all the right signs, I feel that I mean, I don't know. I think it depends on each person.
Mhm.
But if it's not showing the right signs, like don't do it.
Yeah. I think that I'm kind of at a point where I feel like ick too because I've just like held out for so long that I'm like, might as well keep it going. I mean, it's not fun for me, but whatever.
You gotta do what you gotta do. I guess.
Exactly. Splitting the bill on a first date.
Ick.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
would say ick too.
None on the first date.
Yeah, I think that like splitting the bill, I think you were telling me this the other day though. It's like that is an ick, but it's not a big enough ick on the first, like, after, like, the third date
Yeah,
where you should
no.
end a relationship. I think a bigger ick would be, like, that he hates his family.
Yeah. I feel like by the third relationship it's a partner, like it starts
Third
being a
date.
partnership. Yeah, like third, fourth date, if you want to pay for it, like I don't think the guy should ask the girl to do it.
The split.
Yes. I feel like girls should offer.
I think never split. I think just occasionally, like, pay for it because you're like, I
Yeah,
got
okay.
like, pick up the check
Correct.
occasionally
Yeah,
just as, like, a
that's a good
fun
one.
little gesture, a surprise,
You're right.
but never put 2 cards
Yeah, you're right,
in.
actually.
That's,
Yeah.
like, so cringy. It's not romantic.
You're right. No.
Thank you. Asking a guy out. So this kind of goes back to the rules where she was like, you can never ask a guy out first. Like, he has to ask you out.
I would say lick.
I love when people say lick because it sounds so dirty. I also say lick. Like, I will never ask a guy out first.
No, I would say do it.
Oh,
Yeah,
I
no.
guess for me that's an ick then. Okay, so it's a lick
No.
for you?
Yes, I would say
Ew.
I don't think it's that bad.
Mm,
It's just it's a coffee.
I know,
It's
but
not
like,
it's not bigger than that. It's like that's the thing. Like I think we overthink things and
Okay.
it's like it's just like, are you free or not? Like I have an hour to
So matter
go
of
get
fact.
lunch. Do you want to come with me? I prefer to have lunch with someone than being by myself. If you want to come, you're welcome.
And if you don't,
And
see
if
ya.
you don't, you don't.
Okay.
I feel it's like very simple. But yeah, I mean, not on the first date, maybe, but like on the second, third, yeah, why not?
What you're saying is like, don't ask him on the first date, but then ask him on like maybe the second or third date.
Yeah. And
Okay.
and if you don't know if they're interested, then you get your answer. Because if they say no, it's like, okay, I'm putting myself out there, and
Mhm.
most girls don't. I think after the first date, you know if you kind of like this person, and then you are like, okay, I want to get to know them a little bit better, and then it's like you go from there.
Yeah, but I also like to be pursued. So like, I probably won't ask on a guy on a date ever.
Ever?
Ever.
Not even after you meet them?
Mm-mm.
Okay.
That's just my that's
Yeah.
my way of dating,
Yeah.
but everyone's different. I am
100%.
single. She is married. So like, who are you gonna listen
No,
to?
yeah. I mean, to each their own. We always talk about this.
Yes.
If that's what you want to do, obviously. I mean,
you have
that's fine
to
too. That works
match
too.
you have to do what's comfortable because it's like if
Yeah.
I were to ask a guy on a date, it would be so uncomfortable that
Yeah.
he would be like, this girl's weird.
Yeah.
But if you're
okay.
comfy doing it, then do it. Like,
Yeah.
who cares?
100%.
Okay. Getting drunk on a first date.
Ick.
I think ick, but I do
Yeah.
think having like a drink or two is good because it like takes away the tension.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like one or two drinks, like tequila,
Like this.
you know?
Yeah, just like a little,
loosens you up.
yeah, totally. But I also think don't take a shot before the date.
Oh yeah, no.
No, because then all of a sudden you're like drunk.
Yeah. Beer goggles. Do you get beer goggles?
Yeah, and you might think you like him, or you might like
Yeah.
accidentally make out with him. Like accidentally.
I accidentally what did you say that time? I accidentally text my ex like my boyfriend's ex. I'm like,
Wait, I accidentally texted my boyfriend's new
ex-girlfriend.
girlfriend.
Oh, new girlfriend?
Yeah.
I don't remember what it was, but
When I
I'm like,
was
how
drunk.
do you accidentally get someone's number and
Well,
then
it was like a DM, an Instagram DM.
oh, okay.
Those were different days. Those were Minnesota
It
days.
feels like those TikToks of like people that it's like, oh, me trying to work, and it's like they're walking and like they slip and they fall into their beds and like
Yeah.
they put on like a blanket.
Totally.
It's like
That's
totally
me.
on purpose, you know?
Like I knew what I was
Accidentally.
doing, but like I was like, Marin, you should not have done that. Calling a guy when you're drunk. Oh, that goes with this theme.
That's an ick.
Yeah.
I did call someone before and I said like drunk
Mm-hmm.
call and I said that I was like, I'm so sorry, I was trying to call my mom.
Did he pick up?
He did not, no.
Did he ever
Like, the
text you
next
back?
day.
Did he text you back?
Yeah, so the next day, as soon as I woke up, I saw like the calls and I was like, oh, I'm so sorry. Like I said something.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, I'm so sorry, I was trying to call my mom. And he was like, yeah, I'm sure. And then we never talked again.
So
Yeah.
I hate that energy.
It's the worst.
It is the worst, but you know, it's a funny story.
Yeah.
How about the movie He's Just Not That Into You.
I love that movie.
Yeah, so it's
Yeah.
a lick.
Yeah.
I'll
Oh, yeah,
also,
lick.
I'll also lick it. I love that movie. I think it's like so valid. How about the movie How to Be Single?
I love that movie
Why do you
too.
love it?
Because I feel that both movies
hmm
are just so true. They really represent um n- the truth. Like on How to Be Single, one of the guys is like, "Oh yeah, I always tell the girls the truth and they
hmm
just don't want to hear it." And it's literally him saying like, I don't want to date you ever, but I mean, if you just want to hang out, let me know." And the girl's like, "Oh my god, you're so cute. You're so nice."
hmm
And like they just fall in love with him. And he's like, "See? I'm literally telling them that I
I
don't
don't want to
want
be
them.
with you.
Yeah, I don't want to be with you, and they are here." Like girls just don't want to hear it, and I feel like that's completely true. Like
I
girls don't want to
agree.
hear the truth sometimes, not all the times.
Yeah, I think that the older and wiser you get, you start to hear the truth faster.
Right.
And even if it's, I'm not looking for something serious or whatever they say, like I think it was Matchmaker Maria who was like, you can't ignore it and think, oh, I'll show him because I'll show, like, I'll have the best blowjob or I'll like have like whatever.
Right.
Like my rotisserie chicken that I make at home is to die for, or like whatever wifey shit like women think that they can do.
Yeah.
Like
My
I'll,
enchiladas.
yeah, my enchiladas, ooh, spicy, or like I'll clean his bathroom and he'll never be able to get rid of me.
Ew.
Bitch, no, he'll get a maid. Like men are slobs, they don't care. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, and so like don't try to
Everything is replaceable. Like they think like robots.
like robots. I
Yeah,
love how we're
robots.
just like trashing men,
Yeah.
but they do like
But they do. It's
they
true.
don't like they don't think how we think.
No.
And so don't try to be like indisposable to a man
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
you're not a utility. So what's your biggest mantra or piece of dating advice?
I feel like active listening. That is the
Mhm.
number one.
Okay.
And the number two, like don't expect Prince Charming. Like no relationship is perfect, and I know that everyone thinks that you're gonna get perfect relationship and you're never gonna fight and eh, you're gonna get every Saturday for you. It's like
Mhm.
those things like it might be a little bit more difficult than that.
Yeah.
It's like just be open, just be open. Listen to you have in front of you if a guy is telling you that they don't like you next.
Yeah.
It's
Just move on to the next guy. There's 7
yeah.
billion people in the world, or
Mhm.
8 billion or something like that. So
Mhm.
like keep it moving.
Keep it moving.
And someone will be so obsessed with you
Yeah,
that you can't get rid of them.
exactly.
And that's what we
As
want.
much as even if you move to another country.
Because last thing before we go, you were literally in Mexico. Sam was in Connecticut, and it was your sister's wedding,
Yeah.
and you guys weren't even dating.
Yeah.
Can we end on this story because it's just so good?
Yeah, so we met in Connecticut and
Mhm.
then he insisted on dating and I said no because I'm leaving.
Mhm.
I went back home. We were not dating and he kept like being present.
Mhm.
He would like Snapchat, like video, picture. Um and all of a sudden he like it was my sister's wedding, so he kept asking like who's gonna be your plus one? Who's gonna be your plus one? And I was like, I mean, do you want to be my plus one?
Mhm.
And he said yes. And he literally flew there.
He wasn't even your boyfriend, and he flew to
wasn't even-
Mexico to be your
yeah.
plus one at your sister's wedding.
Correct. And I mean, to be honest, like he didn't even know what he was gonna get. Like, what if I
Mhm.
wasn't there?
Totally.
Like he had never been to Mexico on his own either.
Mhm.
So he showed up. I picked him up at the airport, and that night he asked me to be his girlfriend.
And the rest is history.
And the rest is history. We're married now.
So if he wanted to, he would.
Yes.
Thank you so much, Cassandra. Thanks again to our sponsor, First Rounds on Me. If you're tired of endless small talk with an overwhelming number of pen pals, go download First Rounds on Me now and get yourself a real date.